Hey everyone, it's Shelley Killinger here from the Shelley Killinger Group at RE/MAX CSI. So you'll notice I'm in a different location today. I am actually in my hotel room in Anaheim, California. We just finished an amazing weekend with my family. We went to Disney. We had some great memories made, lots of fun times with the girls and my husband. They took off and I'm actually here for the week for Tom Ferry's Success Summit 2018. So it kicked off today with a bang. We're out here learning just how to take better care of our customers and how to grow our business. So lots of good things coming back to Pittsburgh from this. But I wanted to check in just a couple minutes on the market because we always do a market update the first week of the month. So I pulled some statistics and I just wanted to share them with you. So we're updating you on the southwest section of the Pittsburgh market. So if we actually take a look at the numbers here, we're comparing our numbers from July, so July 1st through the 31st. We're comparing that to the numbers that we pulled from June. So in July, we had 792 properties that were active for sale. When we compare that to June, we actually had fewer properties that were active for sale. At the end of June, there were only 754, but pretty close in numbers. We're seeing more properties on the market at the end of July, which is good for those buyers out there looking because they've been really frustrated with low levels of inventory. So we're seeing a little bit of an uptick there, which is great news for buyers. We had 333 properties sold in the southwest section of the Pittsburgh market in the month of July. We had 414 properties sold in the month of June. This kind of goes along with our typical market trend in Pittsburgh. We do see a little bit of a slump in July and August, usually because people are in vacation mode, and then in August they get ready to go back to school and that kind of thing. So we do typically in July and August see a little bit of a slowdown. However, don't be worried. In September, usually we do see a little bit of an uptick. So if you are thinking about selling your home, September could be a good month for you. If we look at average days on the market, so this is the average amount of time it takes a home to go under contract. This in July was 46 days. So from the time a house was listed till when it went pending is 46 days. And then days on the market for June were 41 days. So it is taking a little bit longer for things to sell, just a few days. So nothing drastic there. We will talk about a little bit later in the video about a market shift that we're seeing. So this may not be an accurate representation of days on the market. This is average. So if you are in certain market segments, you might actually be seeing a little bit of a higher days on market. In some market segments, you might be seeing a significantly higher days on market number. So we'll go over that in a minute here. But if we take a look at our average sold home, in July, so this past month, it was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, which is pretty typical for Pittsburgh, and it sold for $278,861. So when you compare that to our June numbers, in June, our average sold home was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and it was $278,251. So literally $10 difference in our average sales price. So nothing significant. Things are holding very steady in the southwest Pittsburgh market. If we take a look at our list price to sale price ratio, that is the difference between where a house was listed and where it actually sold. In July, we were at 97.78%. When we compare that to June, in June, our numbers were at 98.03%. So obviously a little bit of a decrease. So sellers are getting a little bit less in the month of July than they were in June, which again kind of goes along with the typical market trend of the Pittsburgh market, which is a little bit of a summer slump in June and July. A little bit of a summer slump in July and August, and then hopefully another uptick in September, which is typically what we see. So that is just our general market update. Just some of the statistics that we pull every month just to give you an idea of what's happening in the market. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about something that we've been hearing some about. We are expecting a little bit of a market shift. We talked about this last month on our market update. We're not expecting any kind of recession. There's some talk about maybe a little bit of a recession by 2020. However, we are expecting a little bit of a market shift in about 12 months. And what we're expecting is not a decrease in purchase price, and list price, but what we're seeing is potentially more average rates of appreciation. If you guys have been following the real estate market, you know that we've been seeing above average rates of appreciation. In Pittsburgh, we've been seeing 5 or 6% a year, which is very high, very fast appreciation. We've had certain neighborhoods that have actually seen even higher appreciation over the past 24 months. However, in the next 12 months, they're expecting things to back off a little bit. So we won't be seeing a decrease in sales price. We'll be seeing a more modest level of appreciation. So I don't want you to panic. It's not that prices are going to go down. It's just that we're not going to be seeing the big jumps that we were. So if you're thinking about selling, that's something to consider. Definitely, don't expect to see those record prices like we were in the past 12 to 24 months. So when you're pricing your property, you might want to consider that. Don't overshoot in the hopes that you're going to have multiple offers or 4 offers in the first 4 seconds of listing. That's probably not going to be the case in most price ranges. So it's just something to consider if you're thinking about selling. Accurately pricing your home is very important. Really listing with a skilled agent who knows how to properly market your home is also very important. In the past 12 to 24 months, we've seen such a frenzy in our market and a lot of market segments that just putting the house on the MLS was, really all you needed to do to get a house sold, and you would have multiple offers. So, you need to make sure you're aligning yourself with and partnering yourself with a great agent who's going to be skilled in pricing, skilled in negotiation, skilled in marketing. That way you can get your house sold, because it's not going to be just push a button and it sells with multiple offers like it has been. So just make sure you keep that in mind if you're thinking about selling. Another thing that we have been seeing, this market shift is already occurring in some of our market segments. If you, for example, are in the high end in South Fayette, you're probably seeing that. Things are starting to sit a little bit longer. If you're in the high end in Peters Township, things are starting to sit a little bit longer. That's a sign of that market shift occurring in Pittsburgh already. And what typically happens is it starts in the higher end and then it moves down to lower price ranges. So, if you're maybe not in the $500,000 to $800,000 range, maybe if you're the price range below that, $450,000, you're going to be seeing it soon if you're not already. So just keep that in mind. Something to think about if you're selling. If you're buying, this is actually really good news for you, because you maybe will have a little bit more inventory. You will not have to be as aggressive as we have been with touring properties. I mean, you all know if you're out there buying and you're not the first person through the door, you really had a hard time getting a house. So now things are going to be changing a little bit in favor of buyers. So good news for buyers out there. Sellers, just something to think about. But that's our market update for this month, guys. Sorry for the shaky camera. Like I said, I'm in my hotel room and I'm just holding it with my hand. But hope you found value in this, and I hope to connect with you guys soon. Of course, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. You can post your questions or comments in the comments section down below. And if you're on YouTube, please subscribe. That way you don't miss out on any of our great videos or our monthly market updates. All right, guys, that's all I've got for you today from Anaheim, California. I will talk to you soon when I'm back in Pittsburgh. Bye, guys.